5 on your health tonight. The level of COVID-19 in local wastewater has dropped to its lowest point in 2 years. Here to talk about that and more, Dr. Kristen Moffitt, an infectious disease specialist at Boston Children's Hospital. Always great to see you, Doctor.
Hey, Dr. Moffitt. It's a great indicator, isn't it? I mean, it's an equaling indicator. So it's good news, right?
It is good news. No, I think it's very good news. These very low levels that are being detected in the wastewater are certainly consistent with what we're seeing in terms of also low rates of COVID-associated hospitalization right now, which very much aligns with low rates of community transmission. I also think it's great that we have a tool like this. These wastewater surveillance updates have often provided one of the earliest indicators to expect a surge.
Oh,
and
good point.
I think there's a chance we'll see surges in the future when weather cools off and people head indoors. So having a tool like this to give us the earliest heads up is really helpful.
COVID, as you know, Doctor, has been the top public health threat for a long time. So based on what we just talked about, how would you rank it now in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I think that I still would give it a lot of respect. I think until we have a couple more years of surveillance and understanding of how this virus is going to mutate, I think it still deserves to be of high relevance as a public health threat. Even the current variants that cause mostly mild disease in people without risk factors for severe disease, even the current variants can still be very, very serious infections for people with risk factors. And we know that this virus is very capable of mutating and leading to variants that can cause future surges. So I think it still deserves a lot of respect as a major public health threat.
So, Dr. Moffitt, given that point, let's launch from there. As you know, we're still waiting for guidance from the CDC about getting that fall booster. So I know what you would hope, but what do you think is going to be recommended for kids as you know as we hit the fall, we hit that colder weather, we're back inside classrooms or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit hard to say what the recommendation will be until we see some data. We know that these updated boosters and the available boosters will largely be mRNA vaccines that are going to be updated specifically for these XBB subvariants of the Omicron lineage. We will really need to see the data around the immune responses elicited by these vaccines. I would say, though, that if data continue to show that these vaccines are safe and that they are effective at preventing severe infection or complications of severe infection, such as long COVID or MIS-C, then I would hope that the recommendation for children to receive these vaccines will be a pretty broad one.
All right, Dr. Moffitt, thank you so much for joining us. As always, stay well, Doctor.
Great to see you, Dr. Moffitt. Take care. So.